Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day and welcome to a new video. And today, I want to talk about Pokemon Unite. I really wanted to wait for the dust to settle on this one before I actually sat down to talk about it. And I was actually debating talking about this game at all. But it is a game that I actually really do want to talk about because there's just so many emotions with this game. I'm not even entirely too sure where to sit on it, because I can understand where people who are giving it a negative reaction are, but I can also understand where the positive reactions are. So I'm kind of trying to meet in the middle a little bit and sort of just have a discussion about, what makes this game bad or what makes it exciting. I don't even know. Like I said, my feelings are mixed about it. So I woke up to watch that Pokemon Presents just like, everybody else did. Funny part about it is, I haven't actually woken up to watch a Pokemon Presents for a long time. I didn't even see the Pokemon presentations for Sword and Shield. Pokemon, while it is a game series that I enjoy, it's not one of my favorite game franchises. I loved it, of course, when I was younger, but as I got older, I sort of kind of not distanced myself from it, but I kind of got out of it for a little while, then I got back into it again. But, obviously I'll always hold Pokemon near and dear to my heart, and I will always play Pokemon games. I have Sword and Shield, I enjoy them, I'm excited for Pokemon Snap, so I love Pokemon games. But I can live without playing Pokemon games all the time, and I don't eat up everything Pokemon does. I got into Pokemon Go for like a month, and then after that I was done. And I'm not saying anything against people who still play it. It's a wonderful game. I love the fact that they make people go outside and play and whatnot, but it's just something that I just kind of got out of. So like I said, Pokemon is, hit or miss for me. I love some of the things, I don't like some of the things. I'll admit that seeing a Pokemon MOBA is somewhat exciting for me. It's interesting. I am not the biggest MOBA fan. I do enjoy the genre, but I don't, play the shit out of MOBA games. I played a little bit of League of Legends back in the day, and the MOBA game that I put most of my time into is Smite. I really enjoy that one. Smite's a lot of fun, and it's definitely different when compared to other MOBA games because of the, it's more of like, instead of top-down like most MOBAs, it's like a third-person perspective, so it looks more like a kind of an action game. So I like it a little bit more, and of course I like the mythology aspect, because I'm really big into mythology and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really interesting one for me. So, seeing a MOBA that has Pokemon in it is definitely intriguing, as I do enjoy Pokemon. But I do have a few problems with it, and of course, there is a hell of a lot more people than me that have a big problem with this game, and it goes pretty deep. If you go look at the Pokemon Company's YouTube, you will see that this is by far the most disliked video they've ever put out. And I'm sure that the reason for that comes down to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of emotions, like I said, involved with this. There are some people that just don't like MOBAs. They don't like the MOBA genre, they don't like those types of games, and that's fine. Then of course you have people who don't care for mobile games. And this is legitimately a mobile game. It's a mobile game that will be on the Nintendo Switch, and that's pretty much about it. So again, I can understand that crowd who doesn't care for MOBA games. Then of course you have the people who were excited at the prospect of a new Pokemon RPG being announced, because the Pokemon Company made it seem like this was a huge project, and don't get me wrong, it's a big project. It is. It does break boundaries in a few ways, which I'll get to. But they were waiting for a big Pokemon RPG, possibly the announcement of a Diamond and Pearl remake or something in that realm. And of course they didn't get that. Instead they got, Pokemon League of Legends, which not a lot of people are into that. So I can see why this has been very negative. But I don't think the game completely deserves to be that hated. Like I said, there's a lot of emotions going into it, but I think it's a game that people should start looking at from another perspective, maybe with not so much malice and hatred. The game hasn't come out yet, so obviously we can't really put any particular feelings towards it. We gotta see how it turns out. Could it be an absolute shitfest? Absolutely it could. Could it also be a good game? I think it has the potential. I'll be a complete liar if I sat here and said that I haven't thought that Nintendo should make a MOBA game. I think Nintendo has such a deep roster of characters that they could make a really cool League of Legends style game with just their franchises alone and have a really, really awesome game on their hands. Like, I think it would be a lot of fun. So, Pokemon getting into that genre is kind of cool. It's sort of like a stepping stone into that direction. Of course, obviously, it's just Pokemon. But Pokemon has a lot of potential with something like that as well. There are a lot of Pokemon. We have gone way beyond the original 150. There are hundreds of Pokemon with all different, shapes and sizes and different, obviously you have the different elements that come into play, and there's so many different moves with the move pools that they could really do some cool ideas. And I do think that Pokemon fits pretty actually impressively well with the way a lot of MOBAs are built. In most MOBAs you have 4 abilities. Pokemon in all the games have 4 abilities. In pretty much every MOBA you have a place called the jungle where you have different mobs that spawn, and in League of Legends at least there's tall grass where you can hide, so that way you can stay out of line of sight from people. Again, that's what Pokemon do. There are Pokemon out in the tall grass, they're dangerous, you fight them, you beat them for experience. So Pokemon fits impressively well in a MOBA, and I think it is a neat direction to take the game and a neat direction to take these characters. I do think it's cool, and I think it does have the right potential. But there are some problems that I can see that can arise from this sort of game. For one, it's a mobile game. It's not a game being developed for PC, and it's certainly not being developed for Switch from the ground up. It is, for all intents and purposes, a mobile game. A game on your phone. Mobile games, especially mobile tower defense or MOBA games, aren't the best. They're alright. I mean, they play relatively decent enough, but I don't think they're that fun. They're mostly made for touchpads and whatnot. I don't get too hype about that. If the game was being made for the Switch and was being ported to the phone, that would be a little different for me, but it's being made for the phone and being ported to the Switch, so I don't know how to feel about that one. Plus, of course, with mobile games, you have that stupid pay-to-win thing, or, whatever. It's going to be a free-to-play, I'm sure, but you're going to have to pay for different things, which is fine in some capacities, but maybe they could go overboard with it. Who knows? It depends on how much is a Pokemon to purchase. What are they going to do are they going to do cosmetics? Are they going to make you pay for other things? There's a lot of questions that we don't know yet. We don't have answers to. So I think it's a little too early to be on the hate train for this game right off the bat. I'm not going to say, go into this super hype because I think this is awesome. But I'm also not going to say, you should be hating this game as hard as you possibly can. I definitely think that a lot of the hatred has just simply stemmed from the fact that it wasn't what people expected. It wasn't. But in a way, I think it's kind of good that Pokemon is doing some things that we don't expect. It's such a big thing now. Pokemon is bigger than Disney at this point. They've gone way beyond the old Game Boy games that we all used to enjoy. Pokemon is a brand now. It's clothing, it's toys. And like Disney, it's dipping its hands into other pots. It's doing other things to keep itself relevant. And the MOBA genre is a game genre that is extremely big. It's popular. So of course, Pokemon is going to turn in that direction. They're going to try to pick up a new audience, and they're going to try to introduce their core audience to a completely new genre of game in one way or another. And that's not a terrible thing. It's not. I think this is a game that people should give a chance. I do think that they look like they made it pretty unique. I think it looks like it could be fun. But, we'll find out when it actually comes out. But I think people should kind of cool it a little bit on the hatred. And again, I understand a lot of the reasons why people hate this game, but I think you should kind of sit back and give it a chance. Don't hate it so hard. And, if it's a game worth hating, wait for it to come out, play it, and if it's really the garbage that people think it's going to be, well then, of course, hate it. Let the Pokemon Company know that you don't want them to shovel you this shit anymore. But I don't think it should be given such a negative reaction. so quick when it hasn't even really done anything yet. It's just a trailer. I think people should be a little bit more open to it, and hopefully something like this may actually be a stepping stone into an arena that a lot of people want to see Pokemon go. A Pokemon MMO. There are a lot of people who want to see a Pokemon MMO, including myself, and making a Pokemon MOBA, in a way, is sort of one step closer to seeing Pokemon do something like that. So, if this game goes over well, maybe Pokemon will start looking at other avenues and other games to venture into. The MMO genre isn't dead, it's certainly still pretty decent. And I think Pokemon could make a pretty awesome MMO if they really tried. But what are your thoughts on Pokemon Unite? Are you excited for it? Could you care less? Do you even like Pokemon? Do you not like Pokemon but you like MOBAs, so you're going to give this a try? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you like this video, give it a like, share it, and if you really like this video, feel free to subscribe. I make gaming videos every week. I try to talk about all different games and all different subjects. So feel free to stick around if you really enjoy it. And anything you can do to help my channel grow would be fantastic. But in the end, you just watching this video means more to me than you could ever know. So have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.